you like after you left was Preshona was talking about how we live in a world now, as like especially on the topic of colonization and stuff, how things like prehistoric or the concept of prehistoric and the concept of civilization is based on people writing.
Yeah.
Which basically like cancels out a large percentage of world history because oral tradition is the oldest tradition.
And I think there's different ways that we've proven to like be like expressive as a people, so it's not just through like the cave paintings, but it's obviously it's in like what we say, the music that we have, the dance, like there's a whole bunch of ways that we express ourselves as Africans, but that's not really considered I want to say something that is valuable, because we live in such a society is very like Western,
but sorry to cut you off, really. I mean, I just got excited by what you were saying, because the crazy thing is that Western research, psychology, science, all of these fields are kind of like circling back to what the ancients were doing, because now you have fields like dance therapy, which recognize that is a, do you know what I mean?
Like that is put like a white label on it, and it just makes me so mad.
Right. And also I gotta say, like how you were saying, Ra, about like hip hop and its place, right?
And why it's so popular, sure.
Yeah. And also just even so, this is it's not my first year, but I'm teaching science right now to middle school and high school students, right? And so the first semester we did taking notes, and we'll do little short quizzes. It wasn't working. This semester, this semester, and I'd have them turn in notes, because I was like, I want to give them this skill that's valuable. I've used it in college, can help out, and it's cool. But this semester, that thing that I've seen working is call and response. Number one way to reinforce learning. Like, for example, we have like rhythms that I do, like in it's like rhythms and call and response. So like, let's say for science, we start with the definition of science, and even definitions. When you look at a lot of these definitions, there's so many freaking words for no reason. I don't remember these definitions. It's got to break down in a way that makes sense, right? So if you really look at what science is, and you take the etymology of it, and then and essentially what it is and what it has become, and all of these things, essentially we're talking about knowledge, because scientia comes from Latin for knowledge, right? Knowledge gained by observing patterns and asking why or how they exist. That's it. So I'll just recite that. We'll recite that. It's like, what is science? And they'll repeat that definition, right? So then math, when you look up the definition of math, again, huge definition.
Whole lot of like verbiage for no reason.
No reason. It's like, so what is math? So I had to like really think about it. That's why like a lot of like decolonizing education has been redefining terms, in ways that actually make sense to us, right? In ways that resonate. So math, when you think about it, is knowledge, because is knowledge gained by counting patterns and using them to create or solve things.
That's so powerful. Okay, take back everything I said about Pythagoras' theory, fam. I want to be able to count.
Exactly. It just needs to be exactly. Exactly. It just needs to be packaged in a way that resonates. That's real. Yeah.
I was gonna say that, because when you look at it like that, how many of our young people have been turned away from academics, right? Because of how
especially from STEM.
When we were growing up, like being a nerd was as bad as being like, okay, let's not get into ugly things, but being a nerd was as bad as anything else. Like, let's say being a wimp, being the kid that everybody could beat up on the playground. If you were a nerd, you were considered in that same class of child in the school, which is insane, because you're a knowledge holder. Sorry, man. And another thing we're saying, my love, when you went here, was like, a part of the reason why hip hop is so popular in our current era and people don't get it is because it's based on ancient African oral traditions, right? And when the white world wanted to define their civilization, they had to erase all of the history of the civilizations that they came from. Because when you think of civilization, what it actually means is, somebody was showing me this, that when you have a cell phone, this is a combination of many, many technologies that have come together to make this one amazing mission, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly how civilization works, right? Is you take dance therapy from this culture, you take building technology or architecture from this culture,
Yep.
you take, you know what I'm saying? The same way when you put together a cell phone, you get plastic from here, you get
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And every like it's that, and maybe in terms of like redefining terms, instead of talking about civilization, we need to start talking about human collaboration, because that's what's got us here. That's why we can talk to someone across the world right now in real terms and disprove the flat Earth theory because of how
100%.